Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel PG Analytics. So again, I have come up with another very interesting problem statement in Tableau, which is how to handle the null and blank values. So let's understand this with example. So I'm going to add category and subcategory. Now you will notice for some records, for some combination, we can see the ABC. Now I'm going to add the sales. So here we can see it is showing the sum of sales for category and subcategory. Now you will notice for some combination there is a blank. You can see there is furniture. For accessories, appliances, art, binders, it is coming as blank, or let's consider it is coming as null. But for bookcases, there is a sales. Now how this is coming as blank? The reason is there is no record in the data set, right? That is why it is coming as blank. Now what I don't want to show it as blank. I want to show, let's say, 0. Now we have a function called is null if null in Tableau. So this is not null. Now first we have to understand this is not a null. How to identify whether it is a null or it is a blank? So you can write a calculation. Let's give it a name Zn. Zn sum of expression is sum of sales. So now if this is a null, how it will consider as a null is if there is a data, there is a record in the data set, but for that data there is no sales, which we consider as a null. For example, in the data set you have a record for furniture and accessories, there is a record, there is a row, but there is no sales. So that it will be considered as a null. If it is a null, Zn function will automatically convert that null to 0. Notice if I write this calculation and drag it into the text, we can see wherever there is a blank, it is still not showing any data. So what Zn is going to do is wherever there is a null, it will replace or it will show the 0. But it is not null, it is a blank. Now let's understand with simple data. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to prepare one data set. Let's say I'm just going to add category, subcategory, and sales. I'm just going to prepare some data here. So what I'm going to do is I'll just copy this furniture. Under furniture, we have, let's say, bookcases. I'm just preparing some dummy data here. Chairs. And let's take copiers. So the sales here, it is 100, 200. Let's say there is no sales for copiers. So I'll just copy this furniture. Now I'll just add the data for technology also. This is technology. And for technology accessories, let's take bookcases. And let's take machines. This is just a dummy data. So here for accessories, let's say 400, 500, and maybe we can make it as blank. So here we can see we have a record for technology and machines. We have a record, but the sales is blank or it is null. For furniture and copiers also where we have a record, but the sales is null. Now I'm just going to copy this data and paste it in Tableau. I'm just going to open the new sheet and paste this data. Now let's understand how Tableau is going to load this data. So again, I'll try category, subcategory, and sales. Now we can see we are getting the null or blank for some combination. Now again, here in this data set, I'm going to use Zn function. So Zn sum of sales. Now what this function or calculation is going to do is wherever there is a null, it will replace that with 0. So when I drag it into the text, I'll just increase the height and width. You will notice wherever there is a null. So here we can see for furniture and copiers, there is a null. There is no sales. So you will notice for furniture and copiers, As there is no data, it is a null. And that is why it is automatically convert that null to zero. Similarly, for technology and machines, there is a null. So for technology and machines, it is replace that null with zero, right? But for furniture accessories, for furniture machines, there is no data. In the data set, notice the data. There is no combination of furniture plus machines. There is no combination of furniture plus accessories, right? There is no record. That is why if there is no record, it is not null. Now, if there is no record, how to convert or keep the default value as zero? If there is a record, if it is null, Zn function will work. But if there is no record, Zn function will not work here. Now, what we can do here is to convert that blank to null or to zero, we can use another function which is lookup. So let's write it lookup sum of sales comma zero. Now what it is going to do is it is going to take the offset of current value. So sum of sales comma zero means current sale. If it is null, I'm going to write if it is null, whatever we are getting after lookup, if that is null, then show zero. If that is not blank or null, else return sum of sales. And now what this calculation is going to do is it will check the cell, current cell. If that is blank or null, it will return the zero. If not, it will return sum of sales. Let me give it a name, lookup function. Now notice when I drag this calculation into the text, wherever there is a sales, it will return the same sales. Wherever there is a blank or null, it will return zero. Notice wherever there is a sales, we are getting the same sales. But wherever it is a blank, now we are getting the zero. So Zn function will not work. Zn function will work when there is a null. Lookup you can use if there is no record and you want to replace with any data, you can use the lookup. Not only zero. Let's say I want to show some default value is 999. So instead of zero, now what you can pass 999. Now you will get the default value is 999. So that's about this video. I hope you enjoyed.